Ever walked into a room and forgotten why you're there? Found yourself humming a song you didn't know you knew? Our memories are a mix of everything that has happened to us. Everything we have learned, and everything that has become part of who we are, and yet we don't really understand how our brain stores them. But it's not as simple as just remembering stuff. It's an incredible journey of electrical signals, chemical messengers, and a dynamic process that shapes who we are. Today, we re-unlocking the vault and exploring how your brain stores memories so you can use it to never forget. Your brain is a lot like a massive library. When you learn something new, it's like adding a book to the collection. But unlike a library, your brain doesn't store these memories in neat little folders labeled with the date and subject. Instead, it weaves them into a vast network, a labyrinth of interconnected ideas, experiences, and emotions. Each time you recall a memory, it's like revisiting a character you haven't seen in a while. You might remember some details clearly, and others fade into the background. Sometimes a single scent or song can bring back a rush of memories, transporting you to another time and place. But how does it work? What's happening behind the scenes when you remember something you learned years ago? To unravel this mystery, let's take a journey through the inner workings of your brain. Picture this. You're at a friend's birthday party. There's laughter, there's cake, and there's a surprise performance by the one and only Elvis Presley. Your brain is like a diligent librarian, taking notes on everything around you. The hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped structure deep in your brain, is busy encoding the event into your long-term memory. This region acts like the brain's library catalog, assigning due dates and shelving locations. In this case, it links the joy of the party with the singing sensation of Elvis. Meanwhile, the amygdala, an almond-like structure involved in processing emotions, is also at work. It adds an emotional label to the memory, deciding whether it's something you should revisit often or tuck away for later. In this instance, amygdala stamps the memory with a big red vibe sticker, because good times at a friend's party are definitely worth revisiting. As time goes on, your brain reorganizes these memories. It's like shuffling books between shelves to make room for new acquisitions. Neurons that were once close together get nudged apart, and those that were scattered across the library begin to cluster together. The hippocampus no longer needed for long-term storage. Hands off the memory to other parts of the brain, which keep it alive through constant reinforcement. Every time you think about the party or see a video of Elvis, your brain is strengthening the connection between neurons, making it easier to recall in the future. Now here's where things get interesting. The brain doesn't just passively store these memories. It actively writes, rewrites, and edits them, shaping them into the stories we tell ourselves and others. For example, every time you recall a memory, you might add new details based on your current knowledge and experiences. That memory of Elvis at the party might evolve to include more about his music, style, or even the impact he had on popular culture. Even more intriguing, your brain can create entirely new memories based on bits and pieces of old ones. Imagine stumbling upon an old photo album filled with images from your childhood. You might find a picture of you and a friend and create a memory of the entire day based on that one snapshot. Your brain fills in the blanks with details from similar experiences, weaving a tapestry of recollections that feels just as real as the original. But what happens when you want to remember something very specific? Say you're studying for an exam and need to memorize a list of facts. Unlike the jumbled mess of everyday memories, this information is neatly organized and easily categorized. It's like having a stack of well-labeled folders on your desk. Your brain takes these facts and runs them through a series of mental exercises. You might repeat the information out loud, write it down, or even teach it to someone else. All the while, your brain is busy forging connections between neurons that will help you recall these facts when it matters most. In fact, there are several strategies you can use to boost your memory and improve your ability to remember what you want to remember. First up is space repetition. This technique involves learning the material, taking a break, then coming back to it after some time. By spacing out your study sessions, you give your brain time to consolidate the memories and move them from the hippocampus to other parts of the brain for long-term storage. Think of it as giving your brain a chance to organize its library shelves without leaving a mess around. Another effective strategy is to add emotion or imagery. The amygdala loves a good story. By connecting facts to an emotional state or vivid image, you can create a memorable experience that sticks in your brain long after the initial learning. For example, instead of memorizing a list of vocabulary words, imagine creating a scene with each word, as the main character. Your brain will thank you later. But perhaps the most counterintuitive tip is simply to sleep. Yes, sleep. While your brain works hard during wakeful hours to encode and store memories, it needs rest to lock them in. During sleep, it processes and consolidates the information you've learned, moving it from short-term to long-term storage. So be sure to catch those ZZG if you want to remember what you've learned. While these tips can help you remember facts and figures, they're not foolproof. Sometimes, no matter how much effort you put into studying, you just can't remember everything, and that's okay. There are limits to what your brain can hold, and it's important to respect those boundaries. Instead of beating yourself up over forgotten information, focus on what you do remember and build on that. But here's the fascinating part. These strategies don't just help you remember more information. They also shape the kind of person you are. The memories you hold on to define your identity, influencing how you think, feel, and interact with the world. Think about it. The events, experiences, and even emotions you remember become part of your life story, the narrative you tell yourself and others about who you are. When you remember more, you're essentially choosing to hold on to certain aspects of your past, reinforcing your sense of self and personal history. On the other hand, when you forget, it's like erasing chapters from your life story. It can lead to a fragmented sense of identity or gaps in your memory that you try to fill in with stories and anecdotes. This is why memory isn't just a cognitive function. It's a fundamental part of what makes us human, connects us to our past, shapes our present, and guides our future. So how can you use this knowledge to improve your life? For starters, be mindful of the memories you choose to hold on to. Are they positive or negative? Do they reflect the kind of person you want to be? By paying attention to your memories, you can consciously choose to focus on the good and let go of the bad. This doesn't mean burying your head in the sand and ignoring negative experiences, but rather acknowledging them, processing them, and deciding whether they serve a purpose in your life story. You can also use your memory to inspire creativity. Memories can be a rich source of ideas for writing, art, and even business. So don't be afraid to tap into your past when you're feeling stuck. And finally, remember that you are not your memories. We all have moments we'd rather forget, but they don't define who we are. You are more than your memories, and you have the power to shape who you want to be. So how does your brain store memories? It's a complex, dynamic process that involves electrical signals, chemical messengers, and a series of mental gymnastics that turn experiences into lasting recollections. From the hippocampus to the amygdala, each part of your brain plays a vital role in encoding, storing, and retrieving memories that make you who you are. By understanding how your brain works, you can use proven strategies like spaced repetition and emotional imagery to boost your memory and remember what you want to remember. But most importantly, remember that you're not just a collection of your memories. You're the sum of what you choose to hold on to. So make those memories count and never stop exploring the incredible power of your brain. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more brain-bending content. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.